What was your "this person is on another level" of stupid moment? This was my first experience in retail where I learned what many customers would be like. Seasons were changing, so we put a lot of shirts we had to get rid of in the front and made them 50% off. I was working the register when a woman came up to buy her things. I rang her up and could see a look on her face like something was wrong. That's when the following happened. "Lady, why is this so much?" Me. "Pardon me? Lady, this should only be $10, not $20. I thought that maybe her item was on sale, so I asked if she could point out the sign, because I wasn't aware of it. It was a small store and we didn't have to walk anywhere. "Lady, this sign here." Me. "This sign says that all shirts are 50% off." Lady. "Yes, so why is this full price?" Me. "This is a hat. We had a sale recently on scarves. For $4.15. The signs clearly stated scarves. The word scarves was in all caps, bold, underlined and bigger than all the other words on the sign. The amount of people I had come up to the counter with 4 items of clothing, worth $30 plus each, and tell me that it was for $4.15 was unbelievable. After pointing out that the sign clearly said scarves, a few even told me that the signs were misleading. Oh my god, this made me laugh so hard. I was friends with a guy who believed those fake Apple adverts like Apple Wave, microwave your phone for instant battery charge. I was so dumbfounded that he actually fell for it. When I saw him the week after and he had a new phone, it all clicked for me. At least he's got the money to fund his idiocy. I worked at a restaurant and we had a dish that was just a whole grilled chicken, chopped into pieces. A woman who ordered for delivery called us, absolutely scathing, complaining that her order of one whole chicken only contained 2 chicken breasts. Had to explain to grown-ass woman that chicken only have 2 breasts. She wanted some of that Total Recall chicken. Make her wish she had 3 mouths. Rescued a co-worker on the side of the road with a flat tire, waiting for the tow truck. I pointed out the nail at the top of their tire. They scoffed and looked at me like I was the stupidest person in the world and exclaimed, "That's not true BC, it's flat at the bottom." I just walked away and never brought it up again. Gosh, what an idiot. Nails are always flat on the top. Except those pesky left-handed nails. I had a bucket of nails one time that was almost 50% left-handed. I got a concussion a while back. A friend of mine told me not to come close, because it might be contagious. They weren't kidding. A girl in my school had gotten about 3 concussions within a year, and when she hit her head the 4th time, and blacked out for a minute, refused to go to the doctor, because last time they said if I got another concussion it could cause brain damage, so I'm not going to let them give me another one. I think the 3rd one might have done it for her. It's not uncommon for someone with a concussion to resist treatment, medical attention. One of the symptoms to look out for when it comes to concussions is the person being combative. I wouldn't be surprised if college, pro athletes would resist regardless. A concussion diagnosis would hurt their chances of career advancement by way of reduced playing time, or being seen as injury prone. Ex-flatmate cancelled the gas and electricity contract because it was too expensive. Wondered why we had no more electricity nor gas. She thought we paid €90 a month to get a hotline 24/7 in case of problem. I was friends with a couple who only had enough money to pay either the cable bill or the electricity. They paid the cable. A couple days later the power was turned off. Reminds me of choosing beer over toilet paper. I had to explain to a girl why you couldn't grow your hair down in front of your face and just cut out eye holes. Even explaining it she couldn't grasp it and brushed me off as being too smart. This is my favorite one. LOL. My wife's cousin and her husband, not baby daddy of her unborn child, fell on self-induced hard times and needed a place to stay for a bit. We set up a queen-sized air mattress in the living room for them. For 3 weeks I woke up to go to work and every morning saw them sleeping on it sideways with their legs hanging off the edge. Then one day she asked me to buy her a bigger air mattress, because this one was hard on their backs. I told her to turn her body, the fricking thing even has a built-in pillow on one end. Her response was that then they couldn't see the TV. Then fricking turn the air mattress to face the TV. That's the story of how I became an AOA to the trailer trash side of the family. The bad part is that it's only one of many stories. The husband was a cook at Applebee's. The baby daddy was a cook at Applebee's. And her new husband was, another cook from the same freaking Applebee's. All working together. Did she also work at Applebee's? Also, was this in Crosby, TX by chance? I've heard some messed up stuff about that Applebee's. Yes, she was a hostess. No, not Crosby, but you are scary close. Like uncomfortably close. But, BFE of Houston, generally? Just commenting. Because I'm also from Southeast Houston. My boyfriend is from Highlands. And we think we know exactly which Applebee's you're talking about. I was in Highland for work on Friday. There's a very friendly pregnant donkey who lives there. That is a complete list of good things in Highlands. I know a lot of recovering addicts in the Houston area and I have heard a lot of stories about that one Applebee's. I worked at a pet store in college. This customer asked me which food would make his pit bull swole. I suggested a high protein food with a good amount of exercise, but advised that a lot of it was determined by the dog's genetics. He asked me if we sold genetics. Answer: yes, but it comes pre-packaged in dog. I once worked in a Midwestern grocery store deli and I was trying to explain to a woman that the name brand and generic brand of the macaroni salad that we carried were in fact identical. The woman yelled at me saying she could only have the generic brand because one is made with mayo and the other is made with mayonnaise and I don't like mayo. When I tried to explain that mayo is an abbreviation of mayonnaise, she just said I'm from the South, I know my food and tutted away. She is going to be in for a shock when she goes to the pharmacy for her prescription of mayonnaise. Yeah, she got it at the Mayo Clinic. Personally, I would only go to the mayonnaise clinic. Just so we're all clear. The Mayo Clinic and Mayonnaise Clinic are in fact the same clinic. Unless you're in the South. I locked my purse with my keys and cell phone in my apartment. I went to the office to ask maintenance to let me in. The woman at the desk said she would call maintenance and asked for a phone number they could reach me at. I said there wasn't one, because my cell phone was locked in my apartment. She insisted she needed a number. I said I could give her the number, but that I wouldn't be able to answer if they called. She suggested I get my phone out of my apartment so that I could answer when they called. I rolled my eyes at her and said if I could get in my apartment to get my cell phone I wouldn't need maintenance to let me in. She never did understand me, but maintenance did show up 10 minutes later. Update: since a lot of people are asking, you don't need a key to lock the door to the apartment, just to unlock it. On the way out the door, I turned the lock on the back of the doorknob and then pulled the door shut, locking the door. I had put my keys in my purse, because I was also carrying a laptop bag and a few other things. I thought I picked up my purse with the other bags, but I hadn't. Yes, I know I was stupid for locking myself out. Thank you, kind stranger, for the gold. I had a similar situation when I locked my keys in my car and had to call Ask Me Anything, roadside assistance, and the lady asked for my Ask Me Anything number. I explained that it was in my wallet which was in my car, and she asked me to retrieve it. I explained several times, but she never did seem to understand. But she told me that I would be in big trouble if the tow truck driver came and I didn't have a number. He never even asked me for it, cause they're not directly employed by Ask Me Anything. Reminds me of the time my cell phone completely died, wouldn't power on even if I charged it, so I called Apple support. Guy asked what's wrong with my phone. I told him it won't turn on. He asks me to power it on so we could troubleshoot. I tell him it won't turn on. He sighs and tells me he won't be able to diagnose the problem if I won't cooperate and power on my phone for him. To be fair to that guy, he's probably used to the type of people that think their phone shuts off when the screen goes to sleep. I hate calling customer support for any technical issues. The first 10 minutes of me saying I did that already, but I'll do it for you again. I once spent 20 minutes pretending to follow all the troubleshooting steps for a Sky Plus box, because starting the conversation with the cable has frayed apparently wasn't enough for them to skip the turn if off and on again routine. Dude, no amount of button pressing is going to fix the cable. I need you to send a man with a ladder. I'm fairly certain that people who have to work at front of house desks deal with so many stupid people that they start to lose their own sense of sanity. I once decided to go see my doctor about something and, as it happened, my bus home from work stopped right outside my doctor's office. So I decided to just walk in and see if I could make an appointment there and then, knowing full well that I might have to come back later. But the waiting room was empty, and I walked up to the woman at the desk, who asked if I had an appointment. I told her I didn't and would like to make one. She told me that I'd have to call the number, and pointed to it on the digital signboard. I asked if I can just make an appointment with her, and she again pointed out the number on the sign. I asked who I'll be talking to when I call that number, and she said that she would answer the phone. So I took my phone out of my pocket, looking her in the eye the whole time, called the number. The phone on her desk started ringing. She actually said, "Excuse me 1 second," answered the phone, and then I had a conversation with her on the phone while standing right in front of her. I asked for an appointment. She asked when I wanted it. I said that right now would be good. She said okay, took my details, and hung up. She then looked at me and said, "How can I help you?" I told her that I have an appointment and she told me to have a seat. I went and sat down while she typed some info into her computer, and then the digital signboard popped my name up, and she spoke into her microphone to call my name, as I'm sitting there, the only freaking person in the room. When I went up to the desk she said, "Hello, sir. How can I help you? I have an appointment." Name? I mean, freaking hell.